Okay, hello everyone, it's AJ and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my review for Chapter 6 of the Book of Boba Fett. Let's just get straight into it. Now, before I begin, warning that this episode review will contain spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, don't watch this, switch off now. There you go, that's it. Now I'm getting into it. Now, after last week's amazing episode of the Book of Boba Fett, I was a bit concerned about this week's. I did wonder how it would play out, how it would cope after what we got last week. Now, before I get into this episode, I will say that this episode, again, like last week's, highlights the issues with the series as a whole. Yeah, I'll come back to that at the end. I know that sounds really negative, but no. So, okay, this episode started, and boy, I just had a smile on my face. Timothy Olyphant returning. Timothy Olyphant's in anything, this guy's happy. He's a wonderful actor, brilliant. And when he does Western, like he did with Deadwood, you know, he was fantastic in Deadwood. Brilliant series. Timothy Olyphant playing a sheriff, Justified. Do you know what I mean? It's, yeah, brilliant. I'm so happy. So I had this big grin on my face. And then, obviously, we jump to Mando again. We get Mando, and he goes off to see Grogu. Now, I was questioning last week whether we'd actually get to see this play out or not. And thusly it did. R2-D2, Grogu, Luke Skywalker. Oh, I was in heaven. Yeah, just brilliant stuff. Then Ahsoka popped up. Fantastic. What can I say? So, Boba Fett himself in this series, he does pop up. I don't believe he's got any lines. Because I know that Tamara Morrison wasn't happy with Boba Fett in this series. He knows that Boba Fett should be a character surrounded in mystery and shouldn't be out and about talking a lot. And I think this episode they've realised that, and so they've got Fennec Shan doing all of the speaking when they're all his team, the Wookiee, Black Rashan, is it? His mod crew and all that are around this table with a map and talking about the plan and what's going on, all this sort of a thing. And he's there in silence. He just gives a nod to Mando when Mando's there. But anyway, they're talking about hiring more people, and obviously Mando says he knows someone, so off he goes to visit Vance Cobb, who thinks about it, shall we say. He thinks about joining Boba Fett, and he says he'll get the town together and talk to him and all this. And sorry, Boba Fett, yeah. But as Mando leaves, there's a figure in the distance, like your old westerns. It's all played out like a western. The homage is there. People go inside. You know, windows creak open with people looking, this sort of thing. And the figure, shrouded in mystery, as a silhouette comes out. And I knew it was straight away, just because of the hat that he was wearing and all this sort of a thing. Yes, and basically we got Cad Bane, yes, from the Clone Wars. I can't get my words out. Yes, the blue-faced bounty hunter with the red eyes, you know, and the Western garb. And he has a one-to-one with Vance Cobb. You know, like a gun duel's about to occur, and Vance Cobb's sheriff deputy is out, and yeah, and there's a shootout, and they come off worse. Yeah, so the deputy gets killed. You know Vance Cobb isn't dead. You know he ain't been shot. He'll just have been injured, because it was one shot at him, which sort of must have winged him. But the sheriff, the deputy, took the brunt of all the hits. And he walks off. Yeah, so fantastic stuff. I was smiling no end. So yeah, all the stuff with Luke Skywalker. Again, Mando goes there. He has back and forth with Ahsoka. Mando doesn't get to see Grogu. But he leaves the armour behind for him. And at the end of the episode, in quite a cold, choice. But, you know, I understand Luke Skywalker gives Grogu a choice. Here's the armour, here's the Yoda's lightsaber. You've got to choose one. Basically, if you choose the armour, you're rejecting the ways of the Jedi. If you choose the lightsaber, you won't ever be able to see Mando again. This sort of a thing, you know what I mean? And we fade to black without seeing what decision little Grogu makes. Now, Luke Skywalker in the episode looked pretty damn good. Obviously, it is sort of CG'd again like it was in The Mandalorian Season 2. But he's got a much bigger role in this episode. And the CG is far better than what it was there. There's still noticeable bits and pieces when he turns and this sort of a thing. Mark Hamill does do the voice. Fantastic. Good old Mark Hamill. Always reliable. Anyone else, I'd have been no. So it did look very, very good, and I was very happy with it. This episode it was just wow. It was wow. I would say this episode is on par with last week's, or even better. Probably even better. But again, like I said, it highlights the issues with the series of Boba Fett as a whole. When you've got 2 episodes which are Mandalorian based, giving you continuation of the stuff from The Mandalorian, which is Luke Skywalker stuff as well, Grogu, Ahsoka, right? You've got problems with the Boba Fett series when these last episodes that have nothing to do with Boba Fett, even though he's in it for one scene, yeah, do you see what I'm saying? You see where I'm coming from with this? Now, this episode was directed by Dave Filoni. And not only that, it was written by Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau as well. Now, Dave Filoni was one of the minds behind the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, hence the inclusion of Cad Bane. And that's just fantastic that we're stepping into this world. And not only that, it looks like it's closing the gaps between this and The Force Awakens. As much as I dislike that trilogy of films, they could just be stricken from the record for all I care. We see Luke's school getting built by these droids that are very much like little robots out of not Silent Running. The Tom Selleck 1980s robot film, Runaway. That's it. Silent Running is the one on the ships. Runaway with Tom Selleck and the little robots in that, but these are like larger version ones that build. We get to see Baby Yoda, Grogu training. It's just fantastic. But like for me, the fact that we've got Timothy Olyphant back, the fact that Timothy Olyphant will be in the next episode, that for me is enough just to get me excited. It's just fantastic. And Cad Bane, my mind's blown. Wow. I can't wait for next week. I really can't. Anyway, that's it. Enough talk about this episode. Just fantastic stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Loads of nods to the original Star Wars trilogy, in the characters, in the little training ball, the musical scores, and the music in this episode itself was top notch, even when it wasn't emulating the Star Wars music, like when Yoda was spoken about and all that sort of thing. I can't really think of anything to say. It was just wonderful. The Jar Wars, the flyby of the Jar Wars, and the Jar Wars waving at Mando because they see his ship, and obviously they've helped him build it, and this sort of a thing in the last episode. Just all in all, fantastic. There's so much to take in from this episode. It's just popping in my head here and there, so this is a bit sort of fractured and that sort of a thing. But just wonderful, wonderful stuff. And next week, yes, last episode, isn't it, I believe? Yes. Wow, I'm hoping that one will be about an hour long or something like that. Because there's a lot of wrapping up to do. But anyway, so this is AJ. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. Please let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this episode. Is it as good as what I'm making out, or didn't you enjoy it? Let me know anyway. Or have you really been enjoying Boba Fett? Do you enjoy the Boba Fett stuff more than the Mando stuff? What's your favourite? Come back, tell me. This is AJ. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take care all, and goodbye.